question is from Dorothy H. Dotson. The second question was, what message should have been conveyed to people to illustrate that the Democrats are fighting for the everyday person?
Well, I think that some messages have to be conveyed in action. And I think that action looks like bravery and courage in situations where we should not be a rubber stamp to things. If I had to do something different or think of something different, I think that when Al Green was taken off the House floor, I think that leadership should have led us on. And I think that we should have all stood up. Now, I'll say that we should have been there in the first place, because if we don't go to these things, they just fill the seats. And we didn't want those seats filled either. But it doesn't mean that we should have stayed. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't have stood up for him. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't have also been standing up and saying, you don't have a mandate to cut Medicaid. We should have all been screaming it. Because every single time that there is a camera on us as Democrats is an opportunity to reach somebody who is not always reached. It's an opportunity to convey to somebody that we're there, that we hear you, that we understand the problems, because that's what we're paid to do. We do understand the problems, and we are working tirelessly on solutions, even if we recognize that we might not be the solution in that moment. Because sometimes we might not be the most immediate solution, but it doesn't absolve us of our responsibility to be there. It doesn't absolve us of our responsibility to be out front. So those are the things that I would like to see communicated out to people more. I would like to see more action items for people, and I know it's hard for us sometimes. So I'll give a couple action items that I think, because I actually do believe in the power of people. That is why the preamble starts with we the people. We're not the preamble, that's why our Constitution, we the people, because power is vested in people. In every election cycle, we give our power out in voting. We decide who we're going to give it to. In this election cycle, some people decided to give it to Republicans in the House, the Senate, the White House. So the only way that we can counteract that is by taking it back. You actually are allowed to take it back. You are allowed to take it back. So what I would like to say, and what I think that the Democrats should be messaging, is that we should be tapping into, if you are not an organizer, if you're a Democrat who is not a natural born organizer or a career organizer, like I was an organizer, then find the organizers. We need to find the organizers, because they're doing critical work. When we think about the NIH, one of the things that we've been doing is we've been trying to focus in, help the media and help us, the electorate, focus in on the things that are important. There's been a flurry of stuff that comes in, the flooding the zone, right, as we call it. There's a reason they're doing that, and it's to try to keep us out of focus. How can you focus on NIH cuts if you're also focusing on ICE and immigration? How can you focus on ICE and immigration if you're also focusing on Medicaid and Social Security, or if you're also focused on, Elon Musk having all your data, or if you're focused on this, the Department of Education, and this to this? That's their plan. We can't necessarily tackle everything, but we can actually start to tackle everything one by one. So that's why we got together with our state legislators and other local elected officials to talk about Medicaid, because that's something that is meaningful to everybody across this Commonwealth. 3 million people in Pennsylvania rely on Medicaid for their health care, or CHIP. 110,000 in PA-12, which means that we know that that's something that is important to everyone. And we needed you to know that that was happening. So we started to coordinate media to make sure that the media was getting that message out. The NIH has an incredible impact on our region, on our nation, on our world. Our economy, our eds and mads economy, is undergirded by NIH funding. If we cut NIH funding, then the economy of Pittsburgh starts to fail. And the economy of Pennsylvania starts to fail. Senator McCormick, do you want the economy of Pennsylvania to fail? I think he doesn't. Or I think he does represent us, though. So does he want the economy of Pennsylvania to fail? So we needed to start to focus in on that. So we joined with Save Our Science rallies. Those aren't just rallies. Those are opportunities to bring light to things. When the media comes to things, they then put it out to you all, and then you all get to join the next one, because now you know about it. And the more you know, the more you send back to the White House, back to Congress. I know people think that writing a letter isn't meaningful. I wrote a letter, I called my congressperson, they didn't answer the phone. My people answer the phone. I want to say, shout out to my staff. My staff, can you stand up? Carly is the person who answers your phone calls. She's on those phones every single day. And sometimes they are heavy. Wasi is my chief of staff. He's out in the district. Brandon is my district director. You will see him in every community, in district meetings and community meetings. She's out there. We have Valletta here, who is the person who helps with your caseload. She doesn't got to stand up, but Valletta helps with your caseload. She's making sure you get that passport at the last minute. She's making sure she's been helping people to work through the bureaucracy of Social Security and Medicare and Veterans Affairs. That's what our caseworkers do. Kyla is our comms person. She's making sure that the messages that you need to hear are getting to you, because too often Democrats are under messaging. We are under communicating, and our team wants to make sure that we are over communicating, because you have a right to know. You have to know, because you can't fight back against what you don't know. So our team works diligently to do those things, and we need the Democrats to be investing in teams like that all over the country. A lot of the work isn't going to be on the House floor, but it is in our district offices. It is in our staffs. It is in those town halls that we're doing. These matter, and they matter because they are helping you to organize. So I want you all to get organized. There are organizations that you can get with, irrespective of what you care about. If you care about housing, well, PA United has been working diligently with renters, with tenants. We're helping to organize those tenants. And that's why we were able to make sure that MB Affordable, who has the Homewood House, who has Monview Heights, which you might have heard about, those tenants who are living in deplorable conditions, they can never work with the government again because of that work. We did that. We in Pittsburgh made sure that these people who have housing all over the country can't do it no more, and they're going to jail. That is the power of organized people in this country. So you get with them. If you're somebody who wants to know what the political actions are, we got Facebook groups that organize. Shout out to Still, what do they call them now? Still Phoenix. I don't want to get it wrong. Still Phoenix. They have lists of actions that happen every day. Indivisible, with Tracy Baton and so many others who are organizing these critical actions that brought to light information like the NIH cuts to this town. These people are organizing, and they are making moves and changes. Get connected with those folks. If you want to know then next how you can get connected with the civil liberties organizations, where do you send your money? You can send it to those organizations that are doing the legal defense funds, because that is going to be a critical part of our defense. It is a part of the defense. This is not separate and apart. It's not like the legislators and then the lawyers. Right now, we're fighting for our democracy. It's everybody at once. So those lawsuits, all 130 of them, we got people reinstated because they took up those lawsuits. I'm on the task force right now for the civil litigations. So one of our liaisons to the AGs, the state's attorneys generals, to those civil liberties organizations, to make sure that our strategy is firm and that we're moving forward with these lawsuits, so that Trump has a stopgap, so that we're stopping him from doing those things. Well, those organizations need support, and look into the work that they're doing. These are actions that you can take today, that you can take right now. So this is things that we can start to channel that energy to. Boycotts, they exist. They cut off the diversity, equity, and inclusion. Well, those organizations need to feel your wrath if you don't believe that that was the right course. There are things that we can do today, but we have to get them out there, and we have to actually believe in the power of that organizing. And Democrats have to be a part of that, because we have to be organizers in this moment too. So that was a long way of saying that's what I want Democrats to be saying.